All right. Are we live? Are we live? Mic check, mic check. Mic check. Can y'all hear me? Let's see. Hold on. Hold on. Hold on. Audio, mic check. All right, yeah. Oh, that's what it is. Mic check, mic check. Let me see something. Peace, peace. Can y'all hear me? Can y'all hear me? I think I got a sound. Is some sound. No, that's good. You know what? I think it is. No, I'm live. Let's see. Oh no, it says I'm clear. Y'all say I'm clear? Why is there a little lag though? There's always something. Let's see. You know what? That's what it is. Okay. Yeah, that's good. All right. It says I'm clear. It says I'm loud and clear. Okay. I'm loud and clear. All right. So we're just gonna put that to the side. What's good? Okay, we got some people in here already. Nice. Hey, what's going on? You know, I had to celebrate Black Adam a little bit. I got my tattered fabrics, you know, courtesy of the Oracle, of course. You know what I'm saying? You know, she keeps the fabrics and everything, but I needed some tattered, you know, I'm a man on this earth, but I'm God within kind of look. You know what I mean? Just what you got? But y'all in here, they say visual and audio is good, so that's what's up. All right, so we're gonna get right to it. If people come in here late, then that's what it is. Mama Jade was good. I see you. I see you. Who else is up in here, man? Who we got in the building? Not erythrocyte. We got a red blood cell flowing through here. All right, so we're gonna get to it. So listen, this let me not do my man a disservice. Dado Design is a beast. Let me pull this up for y'all real quick. I mean, I know y'all see it in the thumbnail. Let's see, 1 second. Y'all gotta I have to put this up, and it's funny because I didn't even think of putting it up. 1 second. Here we go. All right, so we got all right, y'all. I know y'all be bearing with me. Here we go though. All right, so yeah, I had to put that thing up real quick. All right, so just so everybody can know what we're talking about today. So we're talking about yay, of course. We have to understand that even though it may not be the most frequent word in the Bible, it is an extremely frequent word in the Bible. And what word I'm talking about is the word yay. Okay. But we pronounce it ye when we're reading the scripture. You know what I mean? Ye are gods. You know, ye are the kingdom of heaven. You know, ye and yea are one and the same. And he's coming with the Black Jews, Israelites, 12 tribes narrative. And we're gonna get into this. I don't want to go too deep too soon, but just to that's one. And just like Peter represents the rock that the church was built on. You know what I mean? We got Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson being Black Adam. What's the rock? The rock is melanin because he's Black Adam. We're gonna get into all of that. And at the same time, we flanked with the trailer for Creed 3. You know what I'm saying? With Michael B. Jordan and Justin Majors playing opposite each other, Adonis and Damien. Okay. So I want to talk about these particular energies that are going on right now because they reflect the need for masculinity. It was a time when young men were growing up and the imagery that they see reflected what they wanted to aspire to be. So the argument in the 80s was more like, we wish we had more Black action heroes. We had Carl Weathers, you know what I mean, doing this thing as Action Jackson and Apollo Creed. We had Time Mac in Last Dragon. You know what I'm saying? We had Mr. T. You know what I'm saying? Going in. I'm leaving. I'm leaving a lot of generals out, but just to say that there were men. Everybody looked like men, sound like men, and they were unapologetic with their masculinity. Unapologetic with their masculinity. And we're going to dive into that today because, there's a resurgence going on. And there's going to be a lot of pushback, but being a man is not being pushed back. So it's okay. Like, we're built for the pushback. That's what it's all about. You know what I'm saying? So we're going to go through, the Creed 3 trailer. I'm not going to play it and all that. We're just going to talk about, the essence of the trailer and what it was talking about. If y'all haven't seen it, y'all could jump over real quick, watch the trailer, come back afterwards or something like that. Make sure you liking. Make sure y'all liking as y'all coming in here. And away we go. Oh yeah, so big shout out to my man Christian Decoded Designs for blessing me with the poster. His skill set is right in front of you. It's in the pudding. All right, so where we going, y'all? We about to go on a little ride, bro. We trying to go on a little ride right here because we got to talk about some things. There's a few conversations, we got to talk about, and it's a necessary, All right. It is already up, right? Yeah. All right. How y'all feeling though? No, I said Apollo Creed. I said Carl Weathers. I said Action Jackson and Apollo Creed. Of course. Oh, you got that Nesu Nectar. Oh, yeah. One of the main things Nesu Nectar do is increase sperm count because of the zinc that it has up in there and the other phenols that exist in there that are able to assist in the further production of testosterone. All right, here we go, y'all. We're gonna continue from where we left off. Now, the last time we left off, we was at Woman King. And this is definitely a continuation of that. Ain't no doubt about it. All right. So you know, let's make sure we acknowledge Chadwick Boseman and his contributions to creation and artistry everywhere. Black Dynamite, yes, my man Michael Jai White, of course. Michael Jai ain't no joke. What are you talking about? He a brick wall, bro. And his tech, I keep hearing now, his technique is the cleanest on the planet. His speed is ridiculous. So yeah, I need to see him in more roles mainstream. They don't be giving this man a chance. You know what I mean? And he's still kicking. You know what I mean? But nah, Chadwick Boseman sacrificed himself in a very interesting time. Transitioning from complications in having colon cancer, you know, going way too soon, Sagittarius, you know, reaching for the stars kind of brother. You know, it's interesting. He, you know, Chadwick Boseman and George Floyd, you know, how they both were sacrificed back to back for similar reasons. Because there's a BLM movement that's going on in Hollywood, just like there's a BLM movement going everywhere else. You know what I'm saying? So when you look at the fact that this man had brought the whole world together and finally gave young Black men something to aspire to. And I know he gets flack because of his decisions in the movie, but remember, he was one side of a coin. The other coin was Killmonger. Okay, and we're going to get into him a little later. And Michael B. Jordan's character, in respect to Chadwick's character, represented the dichotomy of the Black man. So even if people didn't agree with what T'Challa was on, they was definitely agreeing with what Killmonger was on. And everybody say the same thing, man, if you could just like put them together, best of both worlds. You know what I'm saying? It was magnificent, you know. So with the sequel about to come, you know, I'll be doing a Decoded on that. You know, we're gonna continue to reflect this ongoing gendercide that's occurring, you know, and patrioticide that's occurring. So let's push forward. Let's push forward, okay? Because I appreciate everyone that's here, and I know we don't got all day. All right. So as of lately, the term that likes to get flexed the most is toxic masculinity, which is interesting because similar to the title, The Woman King, you put toxic before masculinity, you're immediately judging masculinity. You're calling it toxic, man. You're saying being masculine is toxic. It's not saying that it's a type of masculinity, you know, masculinity type B, toxic. No, it's toxic masculinity. They're one and the same. So anything that reflects being a man is henceforth toxic, which is not a bad deal, so to speak, because men are villains naturally. We are the toxicity in relationships. You know what I'm saying? And I know people will be like, what you talking about? A woman could be content, and it's not until you drop about a drama up in there, then it starts turning into something more. You see what I'm saying? So masculinity is what it is. It's the power, it's the force, you know, and what we have to do is start to embrace the roles that men, hold on. Okay. We're going to have to embrace the principles that respect being a man, you know, and as we continue to go through this conversation here, we'll talk about it. And I know some of y'all started reading some of this stuff up. This is trigger stuff all day. You know what I'm saying? So it's a term created by unattractive, involuntary, abstinent females, you know, feminist, so to speak, you know, these degenerates that exist these days, you know, that's where this term came from. Women that, you know, are lonely, you know, are not having children, are going through whatever they're going through. These women are absent involuntary. It's not like they're like, oh, I'm not gonna sleep, you know what I'm saying, with no men. There's ain't no men sleeping with them. So what better thing they're gonna do? They're gonna corral together, you know. And these are the same women that wrote the Women King, you know what I'm saying? The witches brew, you know what I'm saying? It's a whole spell going on. And when we talk about Hollywood Decoded, you know, Hollywood Decoded deals with a wood of a holly plant. So automatically it's masculine because we're talking about the penis, we're talking about the phallus, we're talking about the wand, which ejaculates what spell writing on the walls, henceforth to bring forth creation upon the silver screen, the reflection, the construct, the woman, the womb. You know, it's a dance that occurs. And you know, when you're casting stars, just like you're casting a spell, you know, Hollywood Decoded is here to get you to get a better understanding, so to speak, everything that's going on. So, you know, a speaking stern, having an authoritative demeanor. This is toxic masculinity. You're not supposed to be a man, not supposed to. So, you know, if there's a situation where someone has to defend, a man has to defend a woman, and he's beta, he's soft, he's staying home every day, all day, just eating ice cream, picking at his feet, like, you know, estrogen is going to begin to pump through that body, through that form, and going to start to give off pheromones that woman's going to smell, that woman's going to taste, that woman's going to feel, and it's going to be like, it's going to be a turn off, you know. So, you know, you have to be a man in your endeavors. I ain't just talking about you just walk around just kicking doors down and everything like that. No, that ain't what I'm talking about. I'm saying that, you know, you have to stand on your square and be your own and not care what anybody else feels or what they think. If you are a man, then you have learned the proper path to walk down and how to execute things, and the people around you are supposed to trust that judgment. There is no patriarchy. You know, I'm going to do a presentation on that alone, but I'm just going to throw that out there. I know one of the things is, you know, a pay gap and women don't get paid as much in the jobs and all that. But really, it's the type of jobs. Women occupy most of the administrative positions on the planet, and men occupy most of the hard labor. They the bricklayers, the engineers, the plumbers. You know what I'm saying? Women are not lining up to be brick masons, you know, and sewage and, you know, how we build these cities. That's not who you see throwing these houses up. They're more in clerical, administrative, nursing, things like that. So even without the conversation, our genders automatically gravitate, you know, and based on those avenues that women work in, that's what they work. And then I think they work less hours too. On top of that, so there's other factors that play into the pay gap, but the pay gap isn't an unfair pay gap. It's actually a complementary pay gap proportional to the different jobs and different industries that exist. Okay. All right, I see y'all. I see y'all. There we go. There we go. What's up? What's up? All right. So, men respect loyalty. No, what men want out of women is loyalty and respect. We want to be respected and we want you to be loyal. Women want security and protection, and that comes in the form of kicking the motherfucker ass, as well as bringing home that bag, you know, and kicking that derriere is also perimeter around home, just security, protection, you know, foundation, principles, organization, things like that. And this is what we exchange. And when you deal with double standards are on both sides. You know, we both have them. Men get ridiculed for them. Women get picked up by them. And we could go into examples of that. I got, like I said, that's an upcoming video. We're gonna have a sex talk because it's time. It's time. And you know me, I'm not only going to get into, psychological aspects, things like that. I'm going to jump into the body. We're going to start talking about some chemical biophysics that's popping so we can lay it to rest. So yeah, men date across and down, meaning that a man will get with a woman that is making the money, same amount of money he is, or less than, like below. He does not go after women that make more than him. Women, on the other hand, will date across. They got to make as much as they making or more. They're not going to date down. So you see, it's complementary on all levels. All right. A man offers sex to 10 women, he may get one smash. While a woman offers sex to 10 men, she'll get 10 out of 10, most likely. Women are born with their attributes and their bodies. And that's not to say there's no women that had to do a little hard work to get certain things together. But for the most part, y'all are giving your body. Men are not just giving their body. We don't just, like, as soon as we turn 13 during puberty, we wake up like Tobey Maguire after he got bit by the spider that day, looking in the mirror, taking our glasses off, like, you know what I mean? It don't happen like that. We got to go to the gym. We gotta pull up, push up, dip, abstain, chase the bag. We got to do all types of stuff just to get to a status where we're noticed. I think they said on all the dating apps that women swipe, what is that? Men is 50%. So, 1 out of 2, every other a guy will mess with a woman on the dating app, but other way around, it's like 80% get snuffed. They get snuffed and thrown to the side. You know what I'm saying? So it's a whole lot of inequality. But, when the inequality benefits a woman, it's celebrated. When it doesn't, then we need to be equal. 1 out of 3 men are either virgins or ain't had sex in the past year. Let me tell you, it's a lot. You know what I mean? Oh, and then going back to the women are born, it's interesting that it's called Father Time, because time is exactly who come and take that boon away from the woman as she gets older. What is more attractive and sought after than a younger woman? So as they get older, which they would call what, the crone, Father Time come get her. You know what I'm saying? It's the opposite with men. With men, it's like wine. We get older, we get more refined. We get celebrated based on what we have built. Catabolic, anabolic processes, man. Yeah. So there's a lot of statistics out here that I implore all of my male audience and female audience too to read up on and research and see what's really going on. This is not a patriarchy. Ain't no patriarchy going on right now. Women got the upper hand, always got the upper hand. In every level of society, a woman gets a safety net. Okay. If she lays with the wrong guy, she got birth control. Okay. She got, if she does end up getting pregnant, right, then she got abortion, right? Then she keeps the baby and the guy don't want to be there, she gets child support. You know what I mean? She gets food stamps, and then of course the guy is going to get trashed by society in the situation too. You know what I mean? And there's a few other examples too. It's like throughout life, every time a woman makes a mistake or there's an error or something like that, she gets taken care of. But a guy comes around and he says anything, you know what I'm saying, remotely on, can you help me? Weaponized tears. Can men weaponize tears? Can I just start saying, man, I don't want it? If I start doing that, like, a real woman she's leaving. She's leaving. She's on the midnight train to Georgia. You know what I'm saying? So we gotta take in consideration that there's a gross imbalance, you know what I'm saying, in regards to the genders and the fact that they trying to annihilate masculinity currently. One big thing that Black Dad and I didn't even get to touch on the Woman's King Decoded was the eunuch that was on the side of the king. You know, maybe it did. Maybe I did bring it up real quick or something, but I don't recall touching on it. But it's all about assassinating what makes a man strong, because strong men defend nations. Do you understand what I'm saying? So yeah, let's housewife is new concept. Like I'm talking about when you're looking at Housewives of Atlanta and all that. No, housewife back in the day meant farmer. It was a farmer. She was out there in that garden, and she was cooking that food, and she was storing that stuff in jars and stuff, preserve it. You know what I'm saying? That's what was happening, and that's a lot of work. You know what I'm saying? So we gotta get that up out of here, you know. But yeah, these are just a couple points, you know, that relocate across the term toxic masculinity that I want to bring some light on, you know. All right. Let's keep going. Boom. So let's go right to this. So this is Mama Ragan. You know, Mama Ragan. Yeah, we're gonna go with Mama Ragan. This is Mama Ragan right here. He is an Australian Aboriginal. So we're talking about Aboriginal Indigenous man. Okay, the mythology of Namor Khan. So now his name is not only Mama Ragan, it's also Namor Khan. Okay, and we know Namor is about to pop up in Wakanda Forever. Okay, he about to pop up in there. Now, he is a lightning ancestral being. This is not from DC, y'all. Okay, yes, they did. Yes, George Washington Carver was. Peace and love, y'all. Peace and love. All right. So, this is a lightning ancestral being. This is not from DC. This is an actual deity of Aboriginal folklore, mythology, history. All right. A lightning ancestral being who speaks with thunder as his voice. He rides a storm cloud, sound like Goku, right? When he was young, and throws lightning bolts to humans and trees. He lives in a puddle. Sound like Namor. It looks like we're getting a twofer, y'all. Follow the masculine bouncy ball, I guess. You know what I'm saying? Namor Khan is the lightning man. Namor Khan soaks up the sun's rays, which form bright arcs of light across each of his shoulders. He is mostly unseen, living high in the sky and riding storm clouds. He makes thunderous sounds by striking the clouds with stone axes fixed to his head, elbows, and knees. He appears each year in Kunu Malayan, pre-monsoon season, reminding people of the consequences of invoking the spiritual power. If people disobey the law, man, woman is a law. Narmakan hisses, crackles, and even strikes the offender with his fiery spears of lightning. Okay? Mama Ragan. This is who Jimon Hansu's playing in the movie, playing in Shazam, playing in Black Adam. Okay? He is the wizard from the planet Shazam, from the planet Eternia, like He-Man, master of the universe, where the rock Eternium come from, similar to kryptonite. But they, kryptonite, I guess they have used kryptonite for technologies and stuff like that. I'm tripping. But Eternium is Black Adam's version of that. So this is who gives Black Adam his powers. This is the force. Do you understand? This is the Aten. This is the spiraling serpent, the Ouroboros. Okay. Oh, wow. It went to the next one. Usually, wait a minute. My bad. The spiraling Ouroboros, the S curve vector, the S curve vector. Now, spoiler alert, anytime you look at a decoded, you need to automatically like understand that the person on the other line is talking about the movie here. We talking about the movie. So if you ain't seen the movie, you don't need to watch this unless you don't care, because I'm about to talk about the spoiler, the post-credit scene. You need to go right now in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Oh, let me get some likes. Let me get some subscribes. Let me get some shares up in here if y'all liking what y'all hearing. So, Superman was in the movie, bro. And I'm trying to tell y'all, y'all cannot. Last time we saw Superman, what he have on the Snyder cut? What color was his suit? Huh? What color was his suit, y'all? Chat, help me out. What color was Superman's suit in the Snyder cut of Justice League? What was the color of his suit that I put some almost 10 years ago when I did the Man of Steel Decoded, and I put Malcolm X's head on Superman's body, but the suit was, yes, thank you, Kenton, thank you, Bajan, thank you, Jelani, thank you, black suit. He had the Black Adam suit on then. And then he pops up at the end of this movie. We're going to talk about why that even matters. So we talk about this force, and we talk about this power that gets bestowed upon an individual and was named Teth Adam. Teth Adam. So we got Black Adam, but Black Adam is a name that was developed, while Teth Adam was a name anointed to him when he gained these powers. What is the name? What does Teth Adam mean? Teth is a letter in the Hebrew alphabet. Okay, before we get into that, we're going to talk about the definition of Teth. Okay, it being the first letter of purity and impurity in Hebrew language. You want to be a man, you have to balance in between being pure and impure. You got to be clean, but you got to have a little bit of smearage going on you. You know what I mean? You can't be spotless. You can't be spotless. Even when you're fresh and so clean, when you open up the mink, there's some dirt on there. Or just the fact you're wearing a mink and you killed an animal to do it might be enough. But Teth is the first letter of purity and impurity in Hebrew language. What's the odds of that? It is the first letter for the word good in Genesis, used to describe God's reaction to the creation of light. Yet it's followed by his separating light from darkness. Oh, snap. So what are we talking about here? We're talking about lightning, light, energy, power, force, this, right? Goodness, right? Inside darkness. Darkness exists and light is inside of it, and the light gets pulled out of the darkness. They are necessary constructs of each other, similar to you and your environment. Okay? They're complementary to one another, you know? So that's Teth, right? So let's keep going. Let's keep pushing forward. You know, and Teth is teeth. And teeth is the backbone and the spine. So you get the Jed pillar when you do that too. So the Hebrew letter Tet is shaped like a vessel that contains something good and hides it within. Look at the shape. It's a vessel that contains something good that hides within. That hides within. Okay? Look at that. Hold on 1 second. Hold on, y'all. My bad. All right. So what do I have at the bottom of the screen? What I have on the bottom of the screen are some heterocyclic indoles. You know what I mean? You know them as catecholamines and dopamine, but they're bonded together to form another polymer you're familiar with called melanin. These are carbon atoms, nitrogen atoms, and oxygen atoms that have come together in order to form this structure similar to the heme structure, and it has salt in the center of it. And you know what it says in the Bible about the salt and the light. Like we don't got to get into that. You know, alchemy being sun, sulfur, mercury, you know, and salts. You know, sun being the sulfur, mercury, energy being the mind. You know what I mean, and then the salt being the body. You know, the earth. You know, so we got the melanin energy because melanin is black. It's darkness, but what? It got something good inside. It got some what? It got something good inside. It got some light up in there, right? It got some good inside. That's what melanin got, brothers and sisters, something good inside. So the Hebrew letter tet is shaped like a vessel that contains something good and hides it within. So what was the story of Black Adam about? Yes. It was about this dark being that we found out through the course of the movie had some good in him, especially when we found out the twist about his son. You know, that was wild. Now I knew that was him in the beginning, the father. You know what I'm saying? But I didn't know how they were going to transfer the energy. That I still didn't know. You know what I mean? But The Rock kept talking about how, yeah, the son, my son is going to get killed, and that's how I get the power. You know, sacrificing children, man, sacrificing children. All right, so Teth Adam, right? So Adam, a well-known Hebrew name. Adam means son of the red earth. I don't think y'all ever seen me when I be in the sun. I definitely got that reddish, muddish, blackish mixture right there, that Adama. Nah, well-known Hebrew name. Adam means son of the red earth. It means its meaning comes from the Hebrew word Adama, meaning earth, from which Adam is said to be formed. The name also refers to the reddish color associated with human skin. So, you know what I'm saying? Um, yes, yes. So the reddish color. Now, this is what's deep. You know, when you get into the Sumerian folklore, because when you look on Black Adam's suit on his skin and inscribed in the melanin suit that's on him, because he ain't wearing no pads, he's just wearing a cover. The inscriptions on cuneiform, which means, you know, you getting into Sumerian now, which is in Lil, Inky, and Hersag, and them creating the Adama to mine go on earth. You know what I'm saying? Just like the Eternium. Just like the Eternium. So we got Teth Adam, we got son of the red earth, and we got, you know, the container with something good inside, you know, the light being within. So we talking about faceting like Khnum, you know, Khnum sitting at the mountain at the end of the Nile where all what is it? The silt, silt and soot from the flooding of the Nile comes in there, and that clay. This is where the term Harry Potter comes from. Heru Potter, Harry Potter, Khnum, spinning the potter reel and creating man, creating woman. That's what this is, and this is. But he's being made. He's being grafted by the gods, which was 7. 6 got destroyed. 1 remained, which is Jimon's Hansu character. All right. Let's push forward. Push forward. I need to keep you like right there. All right. So what happens with Black Adam, Shazam, as well as Sabbat, is they, through some medium and through a tone, because you have to say Shazam. All right. Shazam is, let me go back to the brother so y'all can see him real quick one more time. Yeah. Okay. Mama Ragan. All right. Mama Ragan. So the planet he comes from, and you have to say his name. And when you say his name, you get teleported to a place where you're imbued with the powers of 6 deities. 6, because 6 is carbon. You know what I'm saying? 6 is carbon. So we got oh snap. We got a Kebalon up in here. What's good, son? Peace and love. Welcome. Syntax is in the building. What's good, Syntax? Peace and love, brother. I'm just noticing you there. Trying to balance between catching everybody in the chat and your thought. Sometimes it get all jumbled up. But you got to think of it in this aspect. When you see these 6 deities, don't just see them as 6 individuals. No. Don't do that. You need to, let's see. I know I got the resonance. I'm looking for the aromatic ring current. Yeah, I'll pull it up on another one, but let me just put this back where okay. The aromatic ring current is the plumed serpent that you see in the top right corner, which also is Namor, snake eating its own tail. It represents the 6 vertices of a benzene ring. A benzene ring being a 6-sided cycle of carbon, in which each one of those carbons create a resonance with one another, and it yields an aromatic ring current, which is the Ouroboros. Now, how do I confirm this? I confirm this because the M in Shazam stands for Mehen. Mehen is the coiled serpent. It is the Ouroboros. Google it, look it up. Y'all, I didn't even know. Did y'all know that the Ouroboros was, well, I know y'all knew because they have that yoga position, the Kemetic one, where he's bent, and he's like eating his feet, it's twisted around. But in terms of a snake eating its own tail, though, and sometimes you see this same Mehen guarding Ra overnight when a tomb is in the underworld as it's crossing the waters, Mehen. So we're dealing with that, and you're dealing with the aromatic ring current of carbon. All right. That's why when The Rock, when he finally turned into Black Adam, Teth Adam, and the suit started coming on, if you notice, he didn't put on the suit, and it wasn't even nanites. It was melanin. It was like venom, but it wasn't as savage. It was a little bit more strategic with its movements, how it was growing on his body. And he emits electricity and power and force. He has a lightning bolt on his chest. I mean, come on. So we got Shu, who represents who? The individual separates Nut from Geb, or the earth from the sky, or the firmament from the earth, to create what? This etheric cathode space with this high energy static electric field, this dielectric properties which Shu provides. That's why he's represented by a feather, an ostrich feather. Feathers, each one of their fibers at the tip have a negative charge, and when you put them in the sky, you put them in the atmosphere, you can discharge electricity. You know what I'm saying? And then on top of that, when you deal with feathers are melanated, and they use the melanin in order to power the birds through flight. Okay, so Shu represents flight through the sky, you know what I'm saying? And you fly through the sky based on electrical principles, not because you got muscles that are flapping. That's, it's part of making another thing happen, but really it's the magic of the environment, the atmosphere that you're suspended in, and the material and the geometry of the body that you possess. So and you know that because the next person's Heru. You know what I'm saying? We got Horus next. And we know who that is. That's the falcon. That's the flight. Next, we got Amon or Amun. And who is Amun? The hidden one. Who else is Amun? the young God in the movie. The movie was about young men. This is how you know this movie was about masculinity. It was about fathers. It was about sons. You know what I'm saying? It was about women looking for strong men to save her son in society, a society that has been taken over by intergang. Instead of calling them Interpol, instead of calling them all these other alphabet bullshit ass names, they call it what it is, but it's intergang. And she's like, yo, my son is out here in this jungle, and I need a man that can raise him and protect him. He was like, what was the line he said in the movie? Yeah, he was like, yeah, ma, who can teach me violence? Because he asked, he said, who teaches him violence? And he was like, yeah, ma, who could teach me violence? And it's like, yeah, young men need to know violence. When we kids, we fight, we beat each other up. My brothers used to double team me all the time when I was young. You know what I'm saying? They would try all the WWF wrestling moves. You know what I'm saying? Did that mean I would never watch WWF ever again? No, I loved WrestleMania. What are you talking about? And once again, an example of men and masculinity. Now, they was flashy with it and everything, but it was over the top just to make sure that, you know, you was on the right thought process, bro. Be in the gym, you know, get big, you know, fight somebody. And how do you fight people? I'm not saying go up in the street and beat somebody up. No, you go in a ring. You go to self-defense class. You go to some martial arts class, a Krav Maga, you know, or kickboxing or whatever, and you face off against other individuals. You know what I'm saying? And that's how you get that off, you know, but it's necessary. So Amun is the hidden one, and it's the sun. And on top of that, I got a little secret coming later. And I'm like, did I leave it? I think I left my water, and that ain't good, which means I'm gonna have to take an intermission in a second, y'all, to get my water. I hope y'all don't dip on me. My bad. All right, so that's Amun, the hidden one. And as we go around the clock, the Yahweh cross, the great Congolese cross, the great divine cross of the Kepera Ra, Atum, Atum and Amun. Okay, so Kepera represents birth, the rising sun. Ra represents the peak sun, you know, adolescence. Atum represents the old man, the setting sun, you know, and then Amun represents the dead man, the underworld, or even when you sleep, subconsciousness. It represents spring, summer, fall, and winter. All right. So this is what Amun is. Amun is the winter. It's the underworld. It's T'Challa when he was in the ice with M'Baku in the mountains and stuff, you know. Then we got Tahuti. They call it Zahuti because, you know, you got Jahuti and Tahuti, DJ, right? EHUTI or or TEHUTI. So they went with the Zahuti, and they're referring to the deity responsible for being a scribe, you know, writing and thought, and the Mercury energy, flash energy, mental energy, you know, and it's the ibis bird, you know. Yes, I do remember SmackDown, and remember, The Rock is a wrestler, so it goes full circle. Okay. The quality of wrestling movies have gone up. Like, I don't care what they say. I haven't even got into the critics and all that talk yet. Okay, where Rotten Tomato got it at 40%, but critic scores at 90. There's something wrong there. Obviously, something's lost in translation. So I hear people say things stupid like, The Rock showed up, and then all of a sudden, he's just speaking English for the rest of the movie. I'm like, no, that is not what happened. The Rock showed up. They started shooting at him, meaning that they attacked him with just pure violence, trying to kill him. And he responded, your magic is weak. Your magic is weak, as he caught their bullets, and the rest of the bullets are just pinging off of him like, you know, like hydrophobic water droplets. So he spoke another language when he said that. And then in hearing them talk to each other and speak, because one of the deities that he gets power from, that feeds his power, is Tahuti. Tahuti knows every fucking language. I don't care what planet, what dimension, what year, what time you go to, Black Adam will be able to speak. You know what I'm saying? And then we got Aten or Atan, and you could look at it either as Atom with the atom, you know, being able to create mass, you know, and creation, or the Aten disk, you know, which, you know, I speak about the sun all the time to everybody. They still ask me when they don't feel well, KT, what do I do? And I'm quiet for a second on the phone, especially people that I've known for 3 months or more. Because by the time I've known you for 3 months, we talk from time to time, and you obviously tell me that you listen to the videos. So I'm always quiet first, and I'll be like, okay, what are they doing now? And when I don't hear they getting up, they going out, they grounding, they getting sunlight, when I don't hear any of that stuff, then I know the sun is the source. It's the umbilical cord. It's the pure tap in. Do you understand what I'm saying? In order to get your power and rise above. And that's what Aten is. This is another thing that he gets to source. And then Mehen is the coiled serpent, which I spoke earlier, the Ouroboros, the aromatic ring current of carbon, the mastery of man form. So look how he built himself. You see, so you got Atom with the building and the creation form happening from that, and the source being the Atom, and the Mehen of the coiled serpent and the aromatic ring current building form up, communication from Tahuti, Amun, the underworld, pulling it from the unseen. Okay, hey, Ru flying high above, Shu being the energy. Listen, you're gonna be dynamic when you put all that together. When you put all that together. All right, so let's go into I put that next. I was supposed to go into the other two, right? Where they at? Where I put that's Black Adam and that's Shazam. Okay, let me go to Shazam. Shazam is so now we get into the Greek side of things. So with Black Adam, it's like, okay, he's the Naga, he's the head Naga in charge. You know what I mean? So his deities deal all with known melanated people. Then when you get into Shazam, he deals with the controversial melanated people, because folks still don't want to admit our presence in Greece, Memnon, and all of that. Like, they don't want to admit to it. But we do know Solomon. We do know there ain't no contest about Solomon. Now, I ain't saying that. But when you get into Hercules, which is deep, because who did The Rock play? He played Hercules, did he not? Okay, and here he goes cycling back where he's actually pulling from it. Now, it's deep because when you look at The Rock as a character, he is Black Adam. He is a Shazam because he's pulling from multiple people. He's pulling from the Scorpion King. That's one of the deities, right? He's pulling from the Luke and Hobbs from the whole Fast and Furious franchise. You know what I mean? He's pulling from his wrestling career. You know what I mean? He's pulling from Hercules. You know, he got different characters that everybody knows him for at this point in Hollywood that he's pulling from. He's pulling from Maui, from Moana. You know what I'm saying? So he is a Shazam in a sense, pulling from all these different energies. But you can see these are more Greek style with the Hercules, Atlas, Zeus, Achilles, Mercury. Same deities. They're trying to tell you, look, if you want to know what these deities are, they these. Okay, they these. And then when you get into Sabak, where is Sabak? Wow, did I erase the Sabak by mistake? It might have got erased because I added up here. But Sabak is like Beelzebub, Satan. I'm glad see, that's how God works. He don't even want me repeating their name. So it's six people too, but it just represents the underworld aspect of that. You don't need to be afraid of your black magic and your dark side. our dark side is necessary. Just when you go too far with it, you end up like Anakin. But if you're able to balance it, you can end up like Luke, because you know Luke got gangster as he got older. You know what I mean? He had to take out Han Solo's kid. Nah, that was wild. But as you see, it's 6, even with the crown of Sabbat, it's 6 with that as well. Let's push forward. All right. If y'all are feeling this video, y'all like what you're hearing, please like and subscribe and share. As much information as I got, almost 200 videos of just pure crazy knowledge. You know, I should have way more subscribers than this. That's how I feel. What you think about it? But it starts with the likes and the shares and the subscribes and what you say. So comment, say something below. You know what I mean? Rock and roll with me. We are, let me see who's at this. Okay. So when we go into, you know, breaking up the different deities, the kid in the movie whose name was Amon, his last name was Tomas, which is deep because K stands for Kamani in my name. And every time I've studied Kemet, I saw how my name was in the 25th dynasty a lot amongst the Taharka lineage of Kemite. There's like 10 or 11 kings named Kamani that exist in those lands. And when you look it up from the aspect of the 25th dynasty and Kemet, what Kamani means, they talk, it's Ka and Amun. So it's the Ka is the spirit, and then it's Amun, the hidden one. So my last name is Thomas, and my last name is Tate, but his name is Amun Tomas. So I thought that was interesting. And what we're going to find out is he's going to become a superhero in the DCEU in the future under the name Osiris. You can't make this stuff up. You can't make this up. Now, not only is he Osiris, but his mom's, who plays Adriana Tomas, right? Which is deep because my mom's name is Annette. It ain't Adriana, but it's still an A. It's close, right? She becomes Isis in the comic books. So while we're watching this film, we're seeing Shazam, but then we're seeing Asor and we're seeing Aset. And it's interesting how they're portraying Asor as a boy who is a mirror of the rock son in the movie Harut, who actually was the real Teth Adam. And the fact that he ended up getting sacrificed. He gave his power up to his father and ended up getting sacrificed. And it's an interesting parallel in regards to the Osirian myth, you know, in regards to Osiris getting killed and being resurrected through Heru. But when you look at the relationship Heru and Isis be having, you'd be like, okay, I know it's symbolic, but still, what's really going on? Because when you get into a lot of single parent households with these mothers, I'm not saying this in all cases, but listen, I ain't pulling no punches back. They be acting like they their girlfriend and they woman, and that the son is their boyfriend or their husband or their man or something like that. And you get this kind of Oedipus complex similar to Boardwalk Empire with the mother and you know, the mother and Johnny, right? Johnny. I don't know why I ain't remembering his name right now, but they was having a whole name was mother and you know Game of Thrones, all that stuff. They talk about the same things up in there. You know what I mean? But it's interesting how they had Osiris as the boy. You know what I mean? Running parallel to his son. You know, with the pentagram with the 5-pointed star on his chest. Because when Sabbat gets resurrected, he has that same symbol flip now upside down on his chest. You know, no, not Buscemi's character. The kid who went to war and came back and was like his right hand man, and then he dipped off, and You know, he had the wife who left him for another woman. You know what I'm saying? She ended up getting killed. Yeah. But let me keep going. Let's see. As I spoke earlier, just as Enlil Enki and Ninhursag created slaves to mine gold and precious minerals, so did the king of Kondak enslave his people to mine Eternium. So it was the same storyline going on with that. You know, progeny will not survive a nation of weak men. It's not going to happen. Children are being sacrificed for their power across the board. You weaken the men, you sit them down, you masculinate the women, or you masculinize the women, and then that whole thing ends up getting imbalanced. The whole thing goes to shit, and the children suffer in the presence of that. And how else can we scale this up? You know, we start talking about adrenochrome and how they siphon the adrenochrome out of the children by implementing fear and death and torture and sexual indecency and things of that nature, and siphoning that power from them by exposing them to that type of environment. You know, that's what's going on. That's what this scene represents. You know, Michael Pitts. Yes. Damn. Why? Wait. Not Michael Pitts. Hold on. His name is let me see. I think you're right though. It is Michael Pitts. I don't know why I kept thinking his last name was Doherty, but you're right. You're right. It is Michael Pitts. That's who I'm talking about. That guy. All right, let's keep pushing forward. Let's keep pushing forward. All right, now. Hey Roo. Hey Roo. I'm about to go get me some water, y'all. I need some water before I start talking about my man Aldous Hodge. I'll be right back. All right. Woo. I needed that, man. I needed that. Okay, so Aldous Hodge plays Hawkman in the movie. We get introduced to the Justice Society. What is it? The Justice Society League instead of the Justice League. It's the Justice Society. Now the JSA is predates the Justice League. They was around longer, and based on how the movie making it look, it's like they always been around. You know what I mean? There's a lot of stuff that was going on in the world. I wonder where y'all was at. But you know, I know they'll probably fix that later. So Aldous Hodge plays Hawkman, and Hawkman, obviously, you can see he represents Heru. He represents Horus, right? Now he could definitely represent Harem Aket, which is Horus of the Two Horizons, because he has a lot of Mars energy with him, holding the mace and the red color, the red and gold, very reminiscent of Iron Man, you know, and his energy, you know. So you could put a little Iron Man, a little Ogun up in there too. Now he was getting his ass handed to him. I can't front. You know, he was kind of a Mod Podge of like Tony Stark and Black Panther, sprinkled with some Captain America on top. You know, the movie itself was a Mod Podge of superhero films. I'm not going to deny it. It's what it is, but it was so necessary right now. Do you understand all of the attacks on masculinity that we have to deal with right now? What's happening to Black male-female relationships right now, you know? So, The movie was necessary. The man busted through walls. He saw a problem. He went straight into their face. And he handled it, and he kept moving. And he learned from his mistakes, and he tempered himself. But in tempering himself, he didn't lower his masculinity an iota. He just disciplined himself and learned how to properly channel his power. Okay. Heru the Elder. Yes. I'm with that for sure. Oh, Ray Allen, that's my man Christian. Dado Designs. He gets that credit. If y'all haven't yet, please like, please subscribe, please share, leave some commentary, holla at me in the chat. Yeah, man. I drink distilled water with a little bit of lime juice and sometimes some herbs infused into it, or I drink spring water. Those are the waters I drink. Sometimes deuterium depleted. I do that from time to time as well. But he was getting his ass handed to him. And there was a reason for that, because The Rock represents that. He's The Rock. He represents the primal, immovable force of manhood, the Saturn energy. Do you understand that Saturn energy? Now, he's not a Capricorn. He's a Taurus. You know what I'm saying? But that bull energy, that same strong force we saw in Dune. You know what I'm saying? The bull. And the way that Hawkman's character was in the movie, The Rock was just reminding him, look, I get it, bro. Things done changed over the years and you a little comfortable. But I'm trying to tell you that, if I'm waking up, then there's other old shit waking up too. And you ain't going to be able to survive with this other old shit. Like, nah. You know what I'm saying? Deep, man, deep. So he was kicking his ass, bro. He was just beating him up. He was like, you want to fight? We can fight. You want to talk? We'll talk. But if your talking has something to do with what I'm about to do and it conflicts, then brother, you about to hit the dirt again, Yeah, Saturn is very direct, No, Black Adam is in Capricorn, but in a sense he is, and I'm gonna prove that closer to the end once I get into my man Jonathan Majors. Now, Hawkman was dope. His plane was obviously Blackbird X-Men. Him coming out, that was all, the X-Men mansion. They removed the scene with The Rock flying with the planes because it looked too Iron Man. They got a whole Justice League, Zack Snyder kind of vibe, with the filming. And then, this is happening at an interesting time too, because the previous president at the WB, who was responsible for everything happening with DC right now, he just got canned. He got canned, I think, like the day of the premiere of Black Adam. Like they was like, you're not invited to the opening. I mean, the premiere, but of course it was talked about prior, but I think that's when they made it official. And there's a change of power coming in, and they listen to the fans. So even though the movie wasn't perfect, by them listening to the fans and using some quality work here and there, they end up making a real good movie. And I'll watch it again. I'll definitely watch this. I'll watch this a few times. It's a classic to me, and it's a first. You ain't seen these characters on the screen before with this type of style. You know what I'm saying? We're used to the Falcon having artificial wings, and in this, we got a more natural look, kind of like Archangel from X-Men, but they're gold, and then they're reddish, they're red gold. You know what I mean? Like stupid, The technology was dope, and we'll get into Fate in a second, but the Hawkman just represent, okay, if you Heru, if you he who is above, then bro, what are you doing with your life right now? Like, this is your planet, right? And Isis, Aset said it to Heru, to his face. Heru, the elder, the older Heru, forgot where he came from. She was looking at him and was like, you're gonna come here now just to body him and take him to to the woman, to Nyansa from the Woman King, Nyansi from the Woman King. You about to go take her to Amanda Waller. We've been here, Kondak been here for all this time, and y'all ain't never been to this city to help us with Inner Gang. Now you want to show up when a real man appears. Now you want to show up, and that's why he kept getting his behind kicked, because that weakened him. You know, that weakened him. Yeah, and then his lair was in Louisiana. Come on, man. You know they talking about the Washita. You know what I mean? And he lives, he's immortal. He lives through generations. So, you know, he probably was a Washita chief man hawk. Because when you go to the mounds, you see a lot of the falcon and the hawk deities on the gorgets, which are the shout out to KB, the gorgets that are on the clam shells, you know what I mean, on all of the seashells. They engrave in them and they wear them like necklaces, you know what I'm saying, around their neck, and they usually end up drawing the Heru figure, the wing figure. So I wouldn't be surprised if he was that in another life, you know. But yeah, so that was that. He was catching that heat, you know what I mean. Okay, so Dr. Fate, you know, Dr. Fate, played by Pierce Brosnan, who had a bond with this helmet. See what I did there? Had a bond with his helmet. And when the helmet he got from some alien people, it's alien technology that allows him to see into the future. You know, so it was just showing that attuned side of the masculine energy, the aged energy of man on his way out. And as you saw, he ended up dying in the movie, but not before he said what? He said he saw his friend getting killed, you know, but just because he saw his friend getting killed didn't mean it had to mean the lowest vibrational of that, which is actually him getting killed. No, it turned out him seeing he left the helmet and he made the hologram, and that whole stuff ended up happening. So he didn't really die. And Hawkman can't die like that anyway. He's Heru. He's Heru the Elder. He's OG Heru. Like OG Heru ain't just dying like that. You know, like we thought Zeus died in Love and Thunder, but nah, he got back up at the end. Like, you know, unless you slice with that sword, right? So he Dr. Fate, his power is yielded from the Ankh symbol out of all symbols on the planet. So, you know, you can't deny the Kemetic and the Sumerian symbolism that's in this film and where they see power lies. It's like, if you want to call people hoteps for wearing Ankhs, it's cool, but why is DC spending, why is there a $20 million Ankh being created by Weta Digital? You know what I'm saying? Why is it so important to make, you know what I'm saying? Why they had to draw the Ankh up in there? It was just convenient, you know. And being in the gold, I like how they, of course, he was very similar to Doctor Strange, but they made sure that they did a different version of him. He was a lot more humble than Doctor Strange was, you know what I'm saying? But that probably was with age. And I liked his powers. I like how they reflected the powers in the movie and everything like that. It was similar, but he still had his own swag with it. And he was in and he was out, you know. All right. Let's keep going. Oh, okay, there goes Sabbat. So it is still up here. I just couldn't see it. All right, so yeah, these are what the letters in Sabbat stand for. So, you know, his ancestor, the bad guy in the movie, his ancestor is the one that originally had the crown and ended up dying with the crown. The crown got buried, and the movie starts off with them looking for that crown. And the reason why he wants it is because he's actually his lineage. He's his successor. So throughout the movie, they kept reading life leads to death, life leads to death. Everybody know that, but they didn't keep in mind that it's supposed to be backwards and flipped upside down. And then it reads death. Only through death can you live. You know what I'm saying? So he ends up, they, because they misinterpreted that writing that was on the crown, and they saw that the guy died. They thought it was over, but no, he had to die holding the crown in order to become an avatar for these six deities. And this represents the six when you deal with like graphene oxide being in your blood, when you deal with benzene chemicals from pharmaceuticals being in your body. This is the other side of carbon, because keep in mind, when you're dealing with toxicity, toxicity is carbon based too. Let's not get confused about it. But yeah, these are the six right here that represent them. All right, let's keep it moving, y'all. So interesting thing is that the trailer for the movie, the theme song is Murder to Excellence from the Watch the Throne album, Kanye West and Jay-Z, or Ye and Hove. And it's interesting because the movie's about The Rock, who the movie starts with people mining rock, looking for a rock. And when he found the rock, he threw up the rock. Hold on, man. Let me say this again. The trailer to Black Adam features the song Murder to Excellence, which represents that whole good and the bad thing, right? The light being in the darkness, right? Featuring Kanye West and Jay-Z in the out with the album called Watch the Throne, which in the movie, Sabbat and Teth Adam were both watching the throne. Everybody was watching the throne because in order for Sabbat to get his power, he had to sit in the throne with the crown on. It wasn't just the crown, he had to sit in the throne too. So Jay-Z's from Rockefeller. He used to throw the rock. The movie stars the rock, where it starts on a rock, mining for Eternium, which is a rock. You can't make this stuff up. And then when you throw the rock and you make this pyramid sign, the pyramid sign that they kept showing in the movie represents manhood. It represents masculinity and the fire, So reconstituting that. Now they have contaminated and perverted the masculine sign by placing triangles within a triangle, and that's where you get into the pedophilic boy symbol. But when you just have a triangle on its own, that represents a man, while the arrow pointing down represents a woman. And when you put it together, you have the Star David or the Metatron. The Rock. Exactly. Like I said, I ain't making this up. This is the movie. They did this. I'm just like, did y'all see that? Did y'all notice that? Now, Sabi was not a fan of Thrones and Kings because he was like, what are we doing sitting around all day on our ass talking about I'm this and I'm that and I'm running this and I'm running that? So thrones breed comfort. You're sitting down, you're chilling, you're thinking, all the time. As opposed to being up and at it and in action. Sabi was like, I'm not about to go to all these temples. I'm about to go in the jungle. I'm about to pull out a cure for AIDS. And he did. A cure for diabetes, and he did. Cancer, and he did. So Black Adam destroyed the throne at the end. He sat down. He did the iconic pose from the comic book, sitting in the throne, and then he flew up and he smashed it to symbolize destroying the ISIS within. Okay, or rather, removing the excess estrogen out of the blood. Isis or Aset are symbolized comedically, hieroglyphically, metanetarily by the throne. Okay? And then the eye over the throne represents a sword. So him destroying that throne You know, that's what it represents. It's like, and then that's another thing. Like he never, that's how you knew he reached a certain level of respect with Hawkman, because he finally landed on the ground and walked to him. Because through the whole movie, this is something I've never noticed in the film either. He was flying most of the film, and I loved that. Because I'm like, dog, if I had summoned the powers of those 6 deities and I can fly, why the fuck would I be walking ever? I would definitely be hovering in the direction I need to go. And I like how they captured that element. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, him destroying the throne was removing the woman, not removing women, but removing the effeminization, the softness, the beta male, the estrogen. Okay, that's what he was doing by busting up that throne. All right. Where are we at? We at hour and 20, and I'm still on Black Adam. All right, creme de la creme, baby. So they revealed in the post-credit scene, Amanda Waller comes out, the Woman King comes out, and she says, "This is, you can't make this shit up." The Woman King comes out with a drone and looks at a man who has the power of 6 gods in one, being the 7, right? And she says, "You don't want to stay in my prison? Fine, keep your ass in Kondak then." Like, first thought was imprisonment, which when they locked him up underneath the waters, in them cold ass waters in that prison, that was a coffin. They submerged him in water, you know, the Assyrian tale. That was him descending into Hades, into the underworld, you know, and then him coming up from the water saying his name Shazam to come and save at the end. That was the Masonic thawing process of going from 32 degrees to 33 degrees. That's the 33-degree Mason thawing moment right there. Once he hit that surface, he breaks that ice. Now he can speak, and he says Shazam, and then he got his power back. But back to the Woman King. So she's like, prison. Why would I even need to be in one? You know what I'm saying? Like, I just saved the day. Like, chill out with all that. Plus, I just woke up, bro. And this Intergang, why y'all ain't using Superman on Intergang? Why y'all using Superman on me and sending me a drone? And then say, you're gonna stay in Kondak, and if you don't, I'm gonna send Superman to beat you up. So after all that power that he shows and sits on the throne, destroys the throne, here comes Amanda Waller, Viola Davis, the Woman King, comes rolling up, and she say, "Yeah, I ain't impressed." Superman, the one that came and said, "You know, it's been a minute since somebody made this much noise." I think Amanda, and then what did Amanda Waller say? "Oh, this is how you know it's BLM and it's about feminism." Because what is the number one thing that women seek? Because they deal with beauty. You know, their whole thing is about beauty, right? Cosmetics and stuff like that, how gorgeous they are and everything. Women seek attention, okay? The tension of Aten, okay? The sun, the spotlight being on them, the tension of Aten, the attention, right? Big shout out to Dice for that one. So she says, "Congratulations, you got my attention." You know, she mentioned that, you know. So then Superman comes out, Henry Cavill. Henry Cavill is May 5th. The Rock is May 2nd. You know what I'm saying? The Taurus and the S curve vector. Okay, he says he's the most powerful man on the planet. He's the most powerful person on the universe. They about to fight, but they about to battle because they're both Tauruses. They both represent the S curve vector of the Taurus field, the toroidal power. He got some melanin on his. He's on the melanin side of things. You know what I'm saying? But it's dynamic that this is the direction that they're going in. If DC has any shred of intelligence, they will jump in and do part 2 yesterday. they need to have this out within 18 months. You hear what I'm saying? Like, this came out October of this year. They need to have it coming out like summer 2024. You know what I mean? Like, they need to come back immediately. You know what I'm saying? Shoot, next year be even better. But I enjoyed the movie. I loved the movie. I loved the masculine energy in there, the power, the force. It was good to see him slinging helicopters. You know what I mean? Flinging dudes into the ocean. You know, just walking through walls like he was nothing. Conjuring electricity. His first move on somebody, he straight just reduced them down to a skeleton. It was amazing. You know what I mean? I love the way that they portrayed the power in that film, you know. All right. So yeah, we got that coming. You know, the Taurus, the bull versus the bull. It only makes sense. This is gonna go off way better than Batman versus Superman. It's gonna make way more money. I'm trying to tell you, this the one. And really, to be honest, that's what I'm saying. It depends on how quick they do Man of Steel 2, because they announced it. They got to do Man of Steel 2, get that out the way, and get straight to this. Because if they jump on this, I'm telling you, they're going to have the fans on their side, man. Fans on their side. All right. So, yeah, Amanda Waller, that's her on the drone, you know. But all right. So let's get into this. Boxing. You know, people think boxing is just about throwing a punch, but it's really about boxing yourself out. Your body itself is a cube. It's a whole lot of different geometrical shapes, but we do make a box. As if you think we got the perpendicular arm over here, perpendicular here with the leg and everything. And if you were to create planes around us, you would find this cube. It's also the box in regards to women, where we place our seed and use it to build intelligence. And it's also the mind, you know, and how we think in XYZ, you know, dimensions, and move in XYZ dimensions as well. Boxing deals with being able to balance your conscious self with your reptilian brain, because you have to dig deep and find that primal nature, that animal inside of you, but you have to use just enough of them not to kill the person. You see what I'm saying? And be respectable and all that type of stuff. So what we have here is a slice of the basal ganglia, you know, and this is what deals with the reptilian brain, the primal brain. You know, if you notice, the brain looks like a boxing glove. Have you ever noticed that? Have you ever noticed? I know it's going to take Shazam and Superman. Yep, that's what I'm saying. That's a whole party right there. So if you notice, some of these pictures are from the Sefer Yetzirah, a very holy book. You know, people want to talk about anti-Semitics. Boy, we about to get into it. We about to get into it, son. If you notice, with the top box, we got above as is below. Okay, we got north as is south, east as in west, and center. We have a strategic location of the different alphabets, the different characters of the Hebrew alphabet. If you look on the one underneath, it has spiritual goals, material possessions. It has sensations versus perception. It has past and existence, interpretation. And on the lifeline, you got past and future, you know. So these are all cross sections within inside the box. And when you're inside of a ring, think about it. It's a boxing ring. You're automatically squaring the circle. You're squaring the circle. They even have to ring the bell to get it started, you know. So you have to dig deep down and find that primal side. And as chaotic as it is, you do have to establish some sort of pathway or order or characterization of that primal force before it totally comes out of you. So you don't just haul off and just like knock somebody's head off, you know. So the basal ganglia, this is where you find the substantia nigra at, which is a very highly melanated region of the brain, you know. And you also have the putamen, which Amun is in there. Amun's horn is in the hippocampus. So we have these same deities that we're speaking on in these movies and archetypes that are actually in your brain. They're in your brain. So when people be like, oh man, you be on all that comedic stuff, da, 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 but I'm like, bro, that's I have Amun's horn is in my head, bro. Like, you know that's what it's called, right? Yeah, Superman definitely has a weakness to magic, and that's where the Eternium comes in. Um, we gonna see, man. We gonna see. I can't wait. I can't wait. You know, it's gonna be they gonna fight each other, and they gonna have to team up somehow, but they gonna have to do it a little different. Yeah, yeah. Doctor Doom's about to drop. Doctor Doom's about to drop. All right, let's keep going, y'all. Let's keep going. So we talking about boxing now, right? So you know, Creed 3, when that trailer came on and I watched it, I felt the waves, you know, and I was like, yes, this is what I need in my life right here. You know what I'm saying? It's time for a transformation. So they definitely inspired me in watching that story because it's an age-old story. It's Black Panther all over again, just more grounded, so to speak. Where now Michael B. Jordan is playing the Chadwick Boseman T'Challa character, and you have Jonathan Majors coming in playing the Killmonger character now. So in this trailer, for those that haven't seen it, I suggest you check this trailer out. And in this trailer, you're going to see that, you know, it's been some years since we saw Adonis lately. Remember, Adonis deals with beauty, you know, it deals with beauty and love because he's with Aphrodite, you know, and connected to Persephone and everything like that. But it's also beloved by his father. So that's also a difference. So we talking about fatherless households where fathers are there and fathers aren't there. His father wasn't there like he wanted him to be there, but he put him in a certain situation. He ended up dying because of that boxing match. But he left him a legacy, and he left him help, and he left him a foundation and a pathway to go. You know, he was a little rough in the beginning, but eventually he ended up attracting and manifesting and creating the universe that he wanted. So now he's married and he got a daughter, you know what I'm saying? And he's Adonis, Creed, and the world loves him. And he's winning matches, and he's probably managing and making money, and he's on the move. Now we now enter a character named Damien. Okay, I don't know his last name. You know what I mean? What is going to end up being Creed 2? But his name is Damien. Okay. And Damien, we're going to get into the definition of that shortly. You know, he has a different situation where they were both in a scenario when they were younger where he got pinched and the other didn't. He had to go upstate, and Michael B. Jordan, you know, he ended up sliding out of there without a hair on, about a hair of his chinny chin chin, as they say, right? So Damien had to do the time. Jonathan Majors had to do the time, and he did 19 years, dog. Whew. That's a whole generation. So for a whole generation of you maturing into a man, he is in prison. And you have to think about all the men in prison right now. You got to think of what they're going through. What happens when men come out after 5, 10, 15, 20 years? You know what I'm saying? How do you expect them to deal with you, especially with the way that they have weakened you? Now, they're weakening men in the prison system too, feeding them gunpowder and all type of stuff in their food and hitting them with injections. But, you know, a lot of them are coming out here and they will knock your head straight off, smooth off. You know what I'm saying? Especially the ties that they make in prison. So we're looking at a dichotomy here. We're looking at someone that's blessed by their father. Now we're going to look at somebody who isn't blessed by their father. Now, we don't know his father's situation. He might have a father in a movie or whatever, but more than likely not, because technically his energy is the father energy. He is toxic. He is ratchet. He is the bad boy. And this, let me tell you, I'm going to tell you right now, as much as everybody all the women love Michael B. Jordan, they're going to be all over Jonathan Majors with this role. All over. Why? Because of the character he's playing. Now, Michael Jordan and Jonathan Majors, right? Both of them are resonating on that MJ vibe. They have the MJ energy. The MJ energy is the 23. How is it the 23? Because M is 13 and J is 10 on numerologically. Okay. We're dealing with the number 13 and the number 10. That makes 23, which is Jordan number, right? And the supposed, I'm not even about to get into that, but also the fact that it's 23 chromosomes make 46 for genetic dominance. So it's a fight for the dominance. What man is going to survive this? Okay, is it going to be the refined, evolved? Because in this situation, he's the beta. Adonis is the beta. Damien is the alpha up in here. Even though he's high value with it, the man got money, he got everything and all that. But this guy right here is threatening him. Like he's feeling it, And if you notice, they got the 3 strikes on there, similar to Nas's new album, King Disease 3, with the gold bars. All right. And the red representing war. And they in the corner, at the apex, at the top, sitting there. You see what I'm saying? It's like, who's going to win this route? So MJ, right? 33, and the 33, you'll see that relationship between the JB relationship in Dune with Javier Bardem, Josh Brolin. Okay. That's how you get the 33 with them. I talked about that on that one, but MJ energy with him. Okay, what else? What else is going on? Before I get into that, let me get into Damien is a historic name that means to tame or subdue. It is derived from the Greek word damianos, which can mean master, overcome, or conquer. The name Damien has also been linked to the Greek goddess of fertility, Damia, also known as Demeter. In Roman mythology, she's known as Ceres. So, conqueror, Damien means to conquer, to subdue. He is master. That's what his energy is. And he's about to be Kang, the Conqueror. And the reason why I named this presentation King versus Kang is because Kang is king with that mud on it. Martin Luther the King, you know what I'm saying? It's that extra swag, that extra energy, that extra funk that be on what you do. King is prim and proper. Kang got a little bit more funk on it. And he's Kang the Conqueror, coming up in the next damn 12 movies in Marvel. He already was in Loki. You know what I'm saying? Now he's going to be in Quantumania. He's both of the Avengers movies is about him and his different variants. And when we go back to Lovecraft country, his name was Atticus Freeman. Atticus, but his nickname was what? Tick. Kang the Conqueror of the Time Variance Authority. Tick as in tick-tock. So they keep talking about time. What else is on the poster? That's a clue. From your past. Michael B. Jordan's slogan is, you can't run. You can't run. That means he is in he's not in the offensive position. He's in the defensive position. He's automatically taken off of the alpha position. You can't run, right? And this is from your past. Come on, bro. So from your past denotes time, as I just spoke on when I talked about the box, you know what I mean, with boxing. And then as Jonathan Majors, as Atticus Freeman, he was known as Tick, and he's also Kang, the Conqueror, creator and sustainer of the Time Variance Authority, controlling time in MCU. So I'm hoping Kang is going to bring masculinity back to the MCU so it could flip over. You know what I'm saying? It could flip over. All right. Let's go to here. All right. So just like, we got him being Kang the Conqueror, that's Marvel, you know what I'm saying? And him being Michael B. Jordan being a Killmonger. We got him moving into the Marvel Cinematic Universe, playing a main role in its direction, and Killmonger was the same in regards to Black Panther. Now, most people don't know Michael B. Jordan's middle name, B, is for Bakari. And for those that are well read in African studies, know about Abu Bakari and Mansa Musa, who's also was referenced by Kanye West in the Drink Champs interview. And it's been coming out a lot more frequently about, the most richest Black man in all of history was Mansa Musa. Well, Bakari is Mandi Bori, also known as Mandi Bakari. Okay, Abu Bakr, a heroic figure in Mande oral tradition who was involved in the founding of the Mali Empire. He was the brother and right-hand man of Sunjata. Stop right there. Come on, bro. So when you're talking about the Black Panther, Chadwick Boseman, right, being the character that he played, Michael B. Jordan playing Killmonger, playing the cousin, playing the brother energy of T'Challa's character in Black Panther. He is the brother, the actual brother and right-hand man of Sunjata, the Lion King, the true Lion King, the founder of the empire, and served as the empire's Concoro Sigui, an office that has been translated as viceroy or lieutenant general. Though Mandi Bori never himself reigned as Mansa, his grandsons Musa and Solomon, that's who Suleiman means, okay? Suleiman is Solomon, ruled the Mali Empire at the apex of his power and prestige. So now you get to start getting an understanding of Solomon now. You know what I mean? Love and peace from Chicago. What's up, Glory? How you doing? So Mandi Bori, Mandy, and mine. Look at that, Mandy, right? Mandi Bori is regarded as the progenitor of the branches of the Kaita clan. Kaita, because I know somebody who has this name or part of this lineage. How do they say it? Kaita, right? Kaita. I think it's Kaita clan, who live in the vicinity of the Korosa in Hamana and Kalankana. He is regarded as having been hot-headed, and oral tradition claims he was cursed by his sister Sogalan Kolakan for insulting her. The story of this curse, said to prevent his descendants from ever leading an army, is used as an explanation for the relationship between the relative status of Hamana, whose residents trace their lineage to Mandi Bori, and Kangaba, whose residents trace their lineage to Sunjata. In addition to his role in Sunjata epic, Mandi Bori is also a hero of hunters, and the legend claims he was born after his mother made a pact with a hunter spirit. Mandi Bori was the brother of Sunjata, the founder of the Mali Empire. Mandi Bori and Sunjata shared a father, Magan. Look at that, Magan, almost like the Magadan, right? From the beginning, Magan Khan Fata. But whether they were full brothers or half brothers is unclear. Some traditions regard Mandi Bori as the son of Sunjata's mother, Sogalan, whereas others regard him as the son of another of Magan Khan Fata's wives. That's similar to Black Panther too, because we all think Angela Bassett, Ramonda, is his mama, but really in the comic books, it's his stepmom. Namanji, it is also unclear whether he was the older or younger brother. Mandi Bori had at least one son, Fagalai, who was the father of Mansa Musa. Under the Arabic form of his name, Abu Bakr, Mandi Bori is briefly mentioned by the 14th century Arab historian Ibn Khaldun as Musa's ancestor. So Michael B. Jordan, B stands for Bakari, Michael Bakari Jordan, and he and Ryan Coogler had announced that they want to do a movie on Mansa Musa. So, it all lines up. All roads lead to Wakanda. My skin is red brown. All right. Where we at now? All right. COVID lockdown, Pornhub, Operation Weekend Men. All the major combatants involved in World War II used pornography as a small part of their psychological operation psyop strategy. Mostly this involved dropping propaganda leaflets using sexual themes from the air in an attempt to demoralize enemy soldiers at the front. Porn run on C's TV channels. This is recent. I did what I just read was dealing with World War II. This is based on an article in 2002. Okay, so porn run on C's TV channel, say residents, April 1st, 2002. Israeli troops who have taken over 3 Palestinian television stations in Ramallah. Now, it being April 1st, we can be like, oh, it's April Fool's, but no, this is a war tactic. They took over television stations in Ramallah, broadcasting pornographic movies and programs in Hebrew, irate residents say. Soldiers occupied the offices of 3 local television and radio stations on Saturday morning and started broadcasting the porn clips intermittently on Saturday afternoon on the Al Watan, Amwaj, and Al Shariq channels, the resident said. I have 6 children at home. They have nowhere to go. And with what is going on here and can't even watch TV. Well, you know, that's definitely when you realize it's time to turn the TV off. But no, when you think about the COVID lockdown and Pornhub and the rest of these other porn internet sites, you know the number of viewers went skyrocketed. We talking about Jeff Bezos and Amazon. Amazon don't got nothing on Pornhub and the rest of them. So all of this nut, semen, power, force, all spark energy being sacrificed, released, and wasted. This is how you drop sperm count. This is how you effeminize. This is how you soften the men. This is how you weaken the men. You know, this was part of it. And it ain't new. They've done this before, you know. Ye is a refined y'all or a plural you, okay? Because he's Gemini's 2 personalities. Kanye turned to Ye. Okay, Ye is a plural you in the Bible. Hence, Kanye West is saying he is us. If he's crazy, we crazy. You know, ye are gods. Ye are ye are the kingdom of heaven. You know, ye is one of the most utilized words in the Bible. You know, we might not say it as yay, but it's spelled the same, you know. Now, you know, we got to give it up to Ye because he went in hard, man. He went in hard and he don't care. He did not care. Do I agree with everything Kanye say? Of course not. But the critical things that he talked about, I definitely do. And I'm glad somebody got some balls with some money that came out and said something. I wish he had more support from other people with a lot of resources too. Shoot, we've been talking this information for a long time, but the type of resources and platforms that he has and his constituents have, shoot, they could do certain things with that. So, you know, Nori's coming under fire. Nori didn't really... his thing is this: he did what he had to do in order to get the video out there. The goal was get it out there because you can't say Nori took it down because it's not down. It might not be on Revolt. You know what I'm saying? It might not be on that channel or on Dream Champ's channel. You know what I'm saying? But it's on YouTube. You know what I'm saying? It exists out in the ethers and in cyberspace. You know, and there's nothing that they could do that. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, he spoke on a few things on here. It was that, and the main topics I'm going to talk on real quick is the anti-Semitic bashing they claim he did, and then the George Floyd comment about the fentanyl. All right. Now, when you listen to him getting canceled and he's going on these different platforms talking, even in the articles that don't even allow his take, they just speaking on him, there's a unified narrative, and that is him being racist and him attacking the Jewish race by being anti-Semitic. Now, I spoke before about, listen, we Jews, what are you talking about? The Sefer Yetzirah, Moors, rabbis. We Jews have always been have had a dark complexion as well. It's only until recent do people just categorize Jews as white folks. You know what I'm saying? But the narrative that keeps going on in this is this, and that is the fact that since when did we say Jew is a race? When you look at the definitions, yeah, it's a little foggy, it's a little blurred lines. But I just tell people, do this. Go get a job. You want to know what's real and what's true? Go get a job and fill out an application, or go to college and fill out an application, or go do anything where you got to fill out an application and they're going to ask you to identify what you are. How do you identify yourself? They're going to give you, what race are you? Circle a race of people. I did not know, like, since when were Jews a race? I thought Jews represented people that practice Judaism. Jews represent people that practice Judaism. A race is a categorization of humans based on shared physical or social qualities into groups generally viewed as distinct within a given society. The term came into common usage during the 1500s, when it was used to refer to groups of various kinds, including those characterized by close kinship relations, right? Genetics. By the 17th century, the term began to refer to physical phenotypical traits, and then later to national affiliation, so nationhood. Modern science regards race as a social construct and identity which is assigned based on rules made by society. While partly based on physical similarities within groups, race does not have an inherent physical or biological meaning. The concept of race is foundational to racism, the belief that humans can be divided based on the superiority of one race over another. So how do we have black race versus white race then? If this is the definition of race and there's race wars, and race, they're saying, while partly based on physical similarities, race does not have an inherent physical or biological meaning? So that's how they play those games with you. It's like, bro, get the fuck up out of here, bro. People who spoke the Semitic languages, is that what we're talking about here? Because if that's the case, Semitic languages are a branch of Afro-Asiatic language family. They are spoken by more than 330 million people across much of West Asia. Do you know what West Asia is? It is not China. West Asia is Persia, Samaria, Iran, Iraq, all that. In between Europe and China and stuff like that is West Asia. The Horn of Africa, and laterally North Africa, Malta, West Africa, and in a large immigrant and expatriate communities in large immigrant and expatriate communities in North America, Europe, and Australasia. The terminology is first used in the 1780s. Look at that. What? By members of the Gotigan School of History, who derived the name from Shem, one of the three sons of Noah in the book of Genesis. So you telling me that Semitic language, or the whole concept of it, comes from 1780, and members in a school came up with this based on Shem being a descendant of Noah. And we know Noah was black. So how is any black person anti-Semite? No. Kill that bitch. Kill that nigga. Fuck that bitch. Fuck that nigga. That's anti-Semitism. That's anti-Semitic. I don't see no lie there, yay. Shoot, what you talking about? So, that's whatever. And he's proved everything. Everybody has proved him right, because ever since that's happened, he's just been attacking, and people are trying to destroy him. Over what? You think he went into school and shot a bunch of kids? But people who shoot a bunch of kids, they just Listen, people don't care about kids in this country, bro. All these states participate in child sex trafficking. You know what I'm saying? What they do is they get paid by these clandestine groups to make it easier for the government to take the children through child support services and everything like that. Once again, using the women, because as much as women want to act like they independent, they not, because they get handouts throughout society. I spoke on it earlier. So what happens? The man becomes the man, right? So yeah, you got a man now, and this and society is your man and tells you what to do, and you're gonna do that. You know, so chauvinism is dead. And how is chauvinism dead? Because Derek Chauvinistic, put his knee on this man's neck for $9.29. And based on this documentary with Candace Owens and how Ye was talking about it, hit him with some fentanyl. And, you know, everybody's telling him, why are you saying that? It was already ruled and everything. But David Fowler, the defense medical expert, right? Floyd's manner of death undetermined, not a homicide. Okay, he said it was 30 breaths per minute versus 22. Okay, normally in a situation like this with chauvinist with the chauvinist knee on his neck, it would, because he's suffering from hypoxia and laborious breathing, he's going to increase respiration, which means at minimum 30 breaths per minute, but more. And at the time he was doing 22 breaths per minute, which means he was breathing slower than normal given the circumstances, which give reason to believe that it was fentanyl in his blood. And in Fowler's determination, fentanyl and methamphetamine contributed to Floyd's death. He also said that there's exposure to vehicle exhaust, so potential, here's that other side of carbon I told you about, carbon monoxide poisoning, or at least an effect from increased carbon monoxide in his bloodstream. You know? But they banging on, yeah. Hit that like button. Hit that like button if y'all like what y'all hearing. It's for my niggas. I hope y'all are enjoying this information. Likes. Facts over emotions. MOB, money over. You know, the state is the daddy. That's what I'm saying. And what is a state? A mind state, a way of thinking. They're going with the Caucasians and the feminists and the BLM and the federal and all of their thought. They're going with that. They rocking with that. You know what I'm saying? Because the men getting tossed underneath the jail. You know what I'm saying? So keep in mind that Kinsey, who is the sex researcher, scientist from back in the day, he linked up with the Nazis to desensitize the American male. So when I was talking about the porno stuff earlier, they did the studies on this. You know, he groomed Hugh Hefner. I didn't even know that. I didn't even know he groomed Hugh Hefner. You know, that's wild. That's wild. You know what I'm saying? So let me oh no, not that, my bad. Wrong button. So yeah, that's pretty much what I wanted to talk about. You know, I already did I talked about Ye a couple times. He had so many points. I suggest people just listen to it. You know, don't get caught up, because if they're banging on it this hard, then you know there got to be some truth up in there. This man got billions of dollars and they trying to, hey, Nez in the building. What's going on, Nez? Holla at your boy. Go see Black Adam. You know what I mean? They resurrecting the man. So at the same time, that they sacrificed Chadwick Boseman, you know what I'm saying? And they brought the Woman King up in here, and they're proceeding with Wakanda Forever with all these females taking the lead, you know what I'm saying? They resurrect, you know, through the Black Adam, you know, energy, because we talking Black Panther. It's that same melanin energy, it's that same force, you know. So, you know, I'm looking forward to I'm looking forward to see what they do with Wakanda Forever. I hope they prove me wrong. You know what I mean? I have faith in Ryan Coogler. You know, I just know it's Disney and it's Marvel, and it's but so many wars you could win up in the war rooms in there. You know, so you know, Kanye, he made so many valid points. The clip that he played of Farrakhan was unbelievable. You know, bringing up Yakub, that was just wild. I heard Jay-Z is like separating himself from Duce since that interview too. I don't think the interview was a reason. I think there was already some shady stuff going on, but he like, I'm done. You know what I mean? But yeah, the admin Codman, yes, exactly. But nah, I suggest y'all go watch Black Adam. You know what I mean? Check it out, see for what it is, let it inspire you. You know what I mean? The Rock been working on this movie for some 15 years or something like that, and he made it his own. And I believed he was Black Adam. It was a good character. Like, he hardly speaking, you know, he's always stoic and all that with this film. And I'm like, you talking about a person who been asleep for however many years in a prison. He just woke up in modern time. He don't know it's been 5,000 years. And then the whole thing about his son sacrificing himself, giving him the powers, he living with that. So it ain't much to say. It's only things to do. And then once he gets certain things done, he can have a conversation. No, I say Eastern, and I'm about to end. It's about to be the wrap up. So, yeah, man, I want to thank all of y'all for joining in, for tapping in, for the information. We up at 270 up in here. Let me get some more of these likes. Let me get these likes. I didn't touch on everything in the movie. It was definitely a whole lot more going on up in there. And remember, the whole point of Sabbat was waking them demons up so that there was a doorway for those entities to come into this world and influence this world. And, you know, through CERN, through the nanites with the shots, through the 5G, you know, that's what manipulating frequencies is for, is to try and phase things in and stuff like that. So you got to stay strong, like Teth Adam. You know what I mean? You have to be like, if you look at the movie, who was the true hero in that film? Because he's the anti-hero. He ain't the hero. The hero was his son, Harut. He's the one that grabbed that joint and the Eternium and ran from everybody and went up to the top and screamed out Shazam and got teleported up, you know, and got the power and was able to free his people. The son did that, you know, and the father was ashamed. And I know a lot of us fathers are ashamed these days because we're looking at the condition that the youth is in there, our sons. You know what I'm saying? And yeah, they didn't sacrifice no power to give us do nothing. And they ain't about to. So, you know, we just got to pull up our bootstraps and get to it. You know, so yeah, I want to thank everybody for joining in. Like I said, like and subscribe and share. And I will talk to y'all again soon. Peace and love.